It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up. All right, what's happening? What's happening, guys? Happy Friday to you. It is Friday, April 3rd, 2020. We're going to talk this morning about how everybody handles things just a little bit different. You probably have some of these people in your life right now that are handling this situation, everything going on in the world. They're just handling a little bit different than you, right? And so how do we handle that? How do we address those differences, and how do we allow people to think just a little bit differently than we do without letting that come in between a relationship, a friendship, anything like that? I think it's a really important thing to talk about right now. So I want to say good morning. Good morning, Andrew, Patricia, Dayton, Jared. My wife is on here. Good morning, babe. Jacob, what's happening, my brother? Hope you're doing well out there in Ohio. Carla, good morning to you. Good to see you guys. Thank you for jumping on here. So everyone handles things differently. And this isn't every aspect of life, right? I think it's really important. What's happening, Clayton? Good morning, brother. Good morning, Dina. Everybody handles things differently. And so especially in times like this, you see the differences in the way that people handle things. And the number one thing that I can tell you is to be aware of that. So just be aware that people handle things differently. They process things differently. If you are a really emotionally charged person and somebody that you're talking to isn't, it doesn't make you right and them wrong, or vice versa, right? It is just that you process things differently. Typically, people process things differently because of their experiences in life. Maybe a specific fear or something that has happened to them in their life that relates to this situation that you don't have, an experience you don't have, is going to make it very different for you than it's going to make it for them. You know, the thing that comes to mind most is relationships, marriages, between men and women, especially in marriage. Your spouse is always going to have different emotions when it comes to adversity, to challenges, to possibly even what's going on during this time. It's going to be very different for them because we're just wired slightly different, right? And so the most important thing in those scenarios is to understand that and to not expect that other person, your wife, your husband, your spouse, to either worry at the same level that you do or have the same emotions, just to deal with things exactly the same that you do. And so I think that this is a time where we meet people where they are and try to help them see a different side of things. But it's something that happens all the time in life, isn't it? This is just a really extreme case, what we're going through right now, of how you see how people deal with things differently. It's very visible. Number one, the world's a little bit more quiet than it normally is, so we have time to really pay attention to these things. But it's really important to recognize how people think about things, how people view things, and not have the expectation that everybody needs to think like you do. Because if everybody thought like you do, the world would be a very boring place. And everybody's experiences are always going to mold exactly how they think. What I will tell you is this: your ability to relate to people and connect with people that don't necessarily see things the same way as you do is absolutely directly connected to your ability to help those people when they might need it and to build a real, meaningful relationship with those people. Let me tell you that again. Your ability to relate to and connect with the people that don't necessarily think the way that you do is directly connected to your ability to help those people, and also your level of connection and happiness with those people. It's really important, guys, to recognize that not everybody is going to think the way that you do. And that when they do, if you try to convince them that they're wrong, it's not going to end up well for you. If you try to help them, you try to understand them, and then you try to explain to them maybe a different perspective, that's a completely different thing. But if you are constantly trying to tell someone else that the way that they think is incorrect, you're going to run into a lot of debates and battles. A lot of them. So just remember that as you're going through this, it's a great reminder for us, during a time where we're all kind of, put together here. We're in our homes. A lot of us, for me, I'm married. So this is a great reminder for everyone that is married to just make sure that you're being understanding during this time, that you're being a little bit more patient, maybe a little bit more caring, loving, that you're understanding that the person that lives with you is going to have a different thought process about how to deal with this. And it might be completely opposite of yours. That doesn't mean that it has to cause any level of disagreement in your house. It means that maybe you can learn something in the process. Maybe if you listen and you truly listen to understand, not just to respond, that you might actually come back understanding a different perspective on something. I try to be as open-minded of a person as I possibly can. And it has done great things for me in my life. It's made me understand things that really confused me before. It's made me be a little bit more appreciative of an opposite point of view just by being able to listen. And by the way, guys, listening has not been my greatest skill my entire life. It's been something that I've had to, work on over and over and over again and catch myself when I'm not listening, when I'm really listening to respond and not listening to understand. And so just think about that during this time, guys. Everybody is going to handle things differently from top to bottom. What's happening, Chase? Good morning, man. Good morning, Rick. Thanks for jumping on, guys. I appreciate it. If you guys find this valuable, please share this out to your pages. I think during this time, I've said it a couple of days in a row here, but I think during this time, people need messages to help them kind of process all the things that are going on around them. And I hope that the messages from this show, from the time that I spend in the mornings, can at least help a few people in the process, because there's a lot of people out there that are scared, hurting, and they don't know what to do. And so hopefully these messages can lift them up when they need it most. So, just listen, guys. Listen to understand. Listen and understand that everyone is going to handle every situation just a little bit differently. They're going to see it from their own perspective. And if they think differently, it does not mean that they are right and you are wrong, or vice versa. So that's it for this morning, guys. Short one. I just wanted to jump on here and give you guys some food for thought as you go into the weekend, and you're going to be spending some time, with your family and with your spouses and with your kids. And just remember this as you're going into the weekend, guys. Everybody is going to handle these situations just a little bit differently. And you want to be there and listen to them and try to understand. And I promise you, it will make you a better person. It will make you a better father, husband, wife, everything. It will make you better at every aspect of life if you just start to understand that everybody's going to handle things differently, and that listening is the number one thing that people want. And so, if you're on here and your parents are going through some stuff, understand they're dealing with different issues that you are. If you're a parent, you're on here and your kids are frustrating you, understand that they're going through something different than what you're going through. And so the way that we get to that point of really living in harmony is by listening truly to understand and not just to respond. So I hope this is helpful for you guys going into the weekend. I hope you guys have an awesome, productive Friday. Remember, I say it every week to my team, but go out like a lion for the week. Do not go out like a mouse. So wishing you guys an incredible Friday. I will see you guys again probably over the weekend as I'm out walking around my neighborhood or doing whatever I'm doing. But I will definitely see you Monday morning right here. Same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.